Welcome to part one of setting up a Power Platform Centre of Excellence using Dataverse for Teams. So the first thing we're going to do is create a brand new team specifically for the purpose of the Centre of Excellence. So I'm going to create from scratch. I'm going to do it as a private team, and I'm just simply going to call it CoE, the Centre of Excellence, but you could call it whatever you want. I'm then going to click Create. Now that the team is created, I'm now going to install the Powerapps personal app in Microsoft Teams. So to do that, I'm going to click on these three dots on the left, and I'm going to type in Powerapps. I'm going to select Powerapps, and I'm going to click Add. Now, at this point, we probably won't have our Dataverse for Teams environment yet, and we haven't initially set up an app. So just to show this, I'm just going to come over to the Power Platform Admin Center. We're going to look in Environments, and I'm actually going to come to Dataverse under Analytics. Then Capacity, under Capacity, Microsoft Teams. You see that no environments exist yet. So as part of this, we're going to need at least one native Teams Power App to basically give us that environment to enable the solution import experience for importing the Centre of Excellence Starter Kit solution. So we're going to come back over into Teams, and I'm just going to choose one of these templates. So I'm just going to choose milestones. I'm going to do add to a team, and I will choose general. Although thinking out loud, the isolation will be at a per team level. So I'm half inclined to actually add this to our team that we've just created. So if I come into Teams, I've got CoE, come back into our Powerapps app. I'm just trying to think of something that we could actually be beneficial anyway. So I'm going to go for issue reporting, add to team, find our CoE, and then do set up a tab. But again, what we're doing here is getting that crucial environment that will have the solution mechanism so we can import a solution. And here I'll just click Save. So now if we come back into the Power Platform Admin Center, and if we give this a refresh, you'll now see that we have that special Teams Dataverse environment against the team that ultimately we want to put the starter kit stuff into. And now we are basically wanting to get ourselves to the point of adding the solution. The next thing I'm going to do in part one is I'm going to cover off data policy. And this is just ensuring that there's some connectors that need to interact with each other. So we're just going to, for now, create a new policy. We're going to call it CoE. Click next. And what I'm basically going to do is just go through all of the prereq as per Microsoft documentation, grab all the connectors, move them into the business bucket, just so I know all that is required for the Centre of Excellence are able to communicate with each other, basically. So, first one is going to be approvals. The second one is going to be HTTP. Thirdly, HTTP with Azure AD. I'm just going to go back to approval and ensure it's still selected, which it isn't. So approvals, move to business, HTTP, HTTP with Azure AD, move to business, Dataverse, both legacy and non-legacy options, move to business, Teams, move to business, Office 365, we have groups, we have Outlook, and we have users. Move to business. Then Powerapps, we have admins, makers. Move to business. Now search for Power Automate. We have management, and for admins, move to business. Then we search Power Platform. For admins, move to business. RSS, move to business. And lastly, SharePoint, move to business. Of course, if in troubleshooting any issues with the Centre of Excellence, you check a flow, it will spell it out to you if a connector or an action within a connector is being blocked by this data policy, and it would be a question of just moving that in. Finally, just to wrap up, what we're also going to do is just make the HTTP with Azure AD and HTTP a bit more specific. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to endpoint configuration. No, I'm not. Here we go. Sorry. With the connector selected, connector endpoint does say it's in preview. And here, I don't know if it'll allow me to edit this one. So I'm just going to go add. And I'm going to specifically add in, not that one, but I'm going to specifically add in graph.microsoft.com. I'm going to click allow. I think you need to at least have one configured. So I'm just going to go back to this, and I should now be able to delete, although this looks like it's set up a bit like a firewall rule. So there's kind of a catch-all. So what I'm basically going to do is remove the wildcard, allow the specific URL, and then basically anything else is going to get denied. Again, if we see problems around this area, we might have to double check this, but we're going to go ahead as if this is correct. I'm going to do allow, deny, and save. Okay, I'm going to leave it there for part one. Just as a final thing, we're going to complete our data policy. And here I'm going to go for the include only the CoE with the required environment selected, add to policy. confirm, next, create policy. So that policy is only specifically for the Centre of Excellence. And if you watched a previous video of mine, we have our other data policy that's specifically for the default environment. And now what we're going to do is we're going to come to environment. And I'm just going to refresh as if that never happened. I'm going to go into our Microsoft Teams environment. And I'm going to take the environment ID. I am going to click on this link which says Powerapps on the right-hand side, just in the off chance that it may take me where I want to be. But no, I'm going to go for the easier option. I'm just going to go to Powerapps, Microsoft.com, and and I'll sign in. And the crucial reason we grab that environment ID is because the last time I checked, the Teams, Dataverse for Teams is kind of somewhat hidden, which is fine for the purpose it mainly serves. In here, I'm just going to remove all of this, paste in the environment ID that we took. Okay, oddly enough, and I don't see why it shouldn't have worked, but in the end, just to kind of show you, because seeing is believing, when I came here, in the end, I actually did leave the training portion of the URL and just literally swapped out the environment ID portion. And that's taken us literally, you can see this is bare bones. You can even see the issue reporting app that we added as a solution. And what we basically wanted to get to here was a Dataverse for Teams environment with the ability to import our Centre of Excellence solution. Thank you for watching.